No brain, no aim, I am a Winston main. I think we all know that feeling. We're loading into a match of ranked just to see that someone loaded in first and insta-locked the hero that we wanted to play. Well, since we don't want to make a scene, we just switch off to our off pick and, well shit, that one's gone too. What do we do now? Hey, what's up guys, Cliff here once again, and today we're going to talk about 3 heroes that probably everyone can play relatively effectively without a lot of practice. Before we get into the heroes that probably everyone can play, let's talk about some common misconceptions. Heroes that are commonly referred to as easy, that actually take more skill or something else than expected. You probably guessed it judging by the intro. Yep, we're kicking things off with Winston. I've talked about Winston in a recent video. He's commonly referred to as a character who is easy to play since his Tesla cannon doesn't require any aim. Just to point into the general direction of the enemy is enough and you're good to go. However, anyone who tried to play Winston in a competitive environment probably realized that nasty things happen when you die for supports. You die very quickly. That's because Winston's probably the truest team player in the most literal sense of the word. Winston just doesn't work very well in a team that doesn't support him. Commonly paired up with Zarya, Winston can dive into the enemies, disrupt them and affect their positioning while gathering charge for Zarya before dropping down his own barrier. After a successful pick or enough mayhem to allow your team to move in, you should probably have enough time to disengage after that. Generally speaking, Winston doesn't only require a lot of support, but also a lot of situational awareness. Knowing when to dive in, for example, after a successful pick on the Reaper, knowing when to disengage, knowing which targets to focus on, and so on. While not needing a lot of aim, there still goes a fair bit into playing Winston effectively. Next up on the list of heroes that get far too little credit for their skill ceiling, Junkrat. It's obvious why Junkrat has a certain kind of reputation. For one thing, his kit suggests that all you have to do is spam away on the enemies, and another thing, playing him wrong is very easy. Especially in competitive environment, the worst thing you can do is charge up Zarya and die without having accomplished anything helpful. I've made a video just recently talking about him and Pharrah and how to avoid common mistakes, so I don't want to get too great in detail here now. The link can be found in the description below if you're interested. And the last one of our bad rep trio would be Bastion. Bastion needs no introduction and he's probably what WoW players refer to as a noob filter. Oh boy, the complaints on Bastion coming from new players are just way too funny. The seemingly unstoppable killing machine mows people down like there's no tomorrow. Well, that is until you reach level 2, at which point not only Genji but pretty much the entire hero roster of Overwatch counters the poor guy. The problem with Bastion is that his kit limits him heavily. He barely sees any playtime in high elo on ranked, let alone in pro play. Unfortunately, there's not much good I can say about Bastion. It is definitely a misconception that he can't be useful at all, but he probably won't do much after the initial, oh, they have a Bastion surprise, so most people switch off of him after getting off his ultimates. Alright my friends, now onto the heroes that you probably will be able to play without much training at all. I'd like to kick things off with Lucio. While there is some finesse that goes into his gameplay, mostly relating to timing his speed boost and sound barrier properly, Lucio is a very easy to handle character. You can heal everyone around him while focusing fire for an extra bit of damage, push people away who try to do nasty damage to you and your team, and even get some cheeky kills by pushing enemies off ledges and the like. In most games above Platinum, using a sound barrier is pretty idiot-proof as you'll be encountering a Zarya in pretty much every game, so you probably just have to keep it for the Graviton or post-Transcendence to keep your team in the fight. Number 2 on the list would be our trusty medic, Mercy. Mercy is probably one of the most passive characters in the entire game. Her skill ceiling requires situational awareness more than anything else, so just know when to fly to which teammate to avoid getting slaughtered by enemies, and call out when you're being pressured. Other than that, know when to hide to revive your teammates and you're good to go. What I'd like to address is me mentioning in previous videos and streams that I'm pretty garbage with Mercy, and now I'm here saying that anyone can play her. Well, in her nature of being so passive, I always feel like I'm not at peak efficiency when playing her. I just have this feeling that I'd always be more effective on Zenyatta or Ana. I overextend because I get bored and just do very stupid mistakes. But that doesn't mean that I've never played her effectively before. I just don't feel comfortable playing her, so it really depends on how passive you like to be. And the last one on our list will be Soldier 76. Now, that's one I struggle the most with putting on the list because I picked him based on the notion that people who play Overwatch competitively have played other shooters beforehand. If you have, you probably won't have any problems in Soldier. I mean, there's a reason people refer to him as Call of Duty man or generic shooter character, because that's kind of what he is. He's your basic run-of-the-mill hit scan assault rifle guy with some sustain and a bit of burst. There's not much you can do wrong with him. He's no McCree who needs to land every single shot. He does a sufficient amount of damage and even brings a bit of extra healing to the table. But this is it for today, guys. My top 3 heroes that I dare suggest anyone can play, and 3 heroes that I generally refer to as easy when in reality require a bit more oomph to be effective effective than they're given credit for. Remember guys, anyone can play any hero, but whether or not they're effective with them is another story entirely. Do feel free to drop me a like and if you have enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you guys next time.